G'day everyone. My name's Peter. I'm the winemaker at Ridgemill Estate, and I'm here with Martin.
G'day guys.
We're going to talk about a couple of our wines and what we do at Ridgemill Estate, along with some very delicious treats that City Winery has included in your pack. Yeah. We'll get started and we'll have a little bit of a chat as we go along about what we do at Ridgemill Estate, and Martin may have a couple of things to say as well. So we'll get into it. I'm going to go and pour some wine. Martin's going to talk to you about the accommodation, maybe.
Yeah, hi folks. Ridgemill Estate. We purchased this property in 2004. Original owner was Spanish, Tommy Jimenez, and he'd planted the first Tempranillo in the granite belt, which has proven to be a fantastic grape variety. So we've been here for about 16 years. Pete's been with us that whole time. He's making cracking wines every vintage, and you've got some in front of you. So we've also got accommodation for those guys who don't know Ridgemill Estate. We've got 8 very contemporary cabins in the vineyard, and we were runners-up with that accommodation last year in the Queensland Tourism Awards. But Pete's finished the pouring. Oh, there's some brochures. Should be in your packs as well, together with the tasting notes.
I'm covering that.
But yeah, Pete's poured some wine, so we'll let him take you through.
Okay, so the 4 wines that you received in your pack was 2019 Pinot Grigio, a 2018 WYP Chardonnay, 2018 Pinot Noir, and Hoven Malbec Mourvedre. So the first one we're going to have a quick look at is the Pinot Grigio. So Pinot Grigio is, in terms of popularity, is snapping on the heels of New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's very popular. Made in 2 styles, a Gris and a Grigio. One is luscious in texture, one is crisp and clean and fruity. So this is a Grigio, crisp, clean and fruity. Got really lovely fruity characters. Really delicious on the palate, fruity, crunchy, crisp, and really sort of mouth-watering acidity that I really love, and is great with cheeses and those kind of things. What do you like about the Grigio, Martin?
Oh, I just think it leaves the mouth so fresh and clean, but there's plenty of fruit there. Bit of a laugh, our label is always Pinot G. That goes back to our first vintage, where we don't grow these grapes, we buy them locally, and we can never be sure of the characteristics when they come. So we had to release the wine before it was classified, so we thought, call it Pinot G. It could be a Grigio or a Gris, and that label is stuck. So bit of fun along the way.
It's quite interesting after the wine after you've swallowed the wine, the flavour of the wine sort of comes back to you in waves. It's quite a nice wine. I really like it. Great with cheeses or deli meats, those kind of things would be really great with. So that's the Pinot Grigio. I'll go and grab some Shardy. Martin will display the bottle of the Grigio.
So that's the Grigio for you. So the next wine Pete's going to take us through is our 2018 Chardonnay, WYP. And for those who want to know what that stands for, it stands for Wet Your Pants. It was our first vintage that Pete made, and one of the local winemakers talked WYP on the side of a tank, and it's stuck with us ever since.
Yeah, so this is our barrel fermented Chardonnay. We lees stir after primary fermentation. We lees stir at least once a week, and that continues on for up to 6 months. We taste it regularly to see how the texture and the oak integration is going. Every year I play with the Chardonnay, just trying to find that perfect balance, that perfect perfect wine, really. This one has no malo, so it's very the fruit is king in this wine. It's not hidden by the butteriness, but it does have texture from the batonnage. But the flavors are more citrusy like. And Chardonnay is something that Ridgemill Estate has done very well with over a lot of years now. So we'll have a quick look. So WYP stands for wet your pants, and so our consultant in the early days came over and, as Martin said, wrote WYP on the tank and said, "Well," I said, "Well, what does that stand for?" And he said, "Well, when Martin tries this, he's going to wear pants." So,
and that was right.
So it's got WYP ever since.
So great history of Chardonnay for this vineyard. Our first vintage was 2005, the first time a barrel fermented Chardonnay had been made here, and we thought it was pretty good. Set in New Zealand, and we're one of 8 Australian golds in the International Chardonnay Challenge. It's gone on year after year from that. 2012, Halliday's Chairman's 11, we were number 8 out of 531. 2014 was champion white wine all categories. And right now we have a short vertical tasting of the 15, 16 and 17 Chardies, which we've got it going at the Cellar door. There's only 5 packs left for, I think, is it $99 a 3-pack. So, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. So I'm just pointing to this. So Chardonnay, it's a beautiful Chardonnay, a beautiful cool climate, expression of Chardonnay. The oak is in the wine, just a seasoning, and I think it's really terrific. A long life ahead of it. So we'll move on to some Pinot, and I'll just sorry guys, I'll just show you. You would have also got one of these in your pack, which is an order form. That you can order a 6-pack or any pack, a 2-pack, a 4-pack, or a 6-pack, wide 24-pack if you like. And for this offer, you'll get a 20% discount and free freight as well. So while you're locked down, get some wine, look after yourself. It's all there in your pack.
And those prices on the pack are already discounted a bit better than 20% from Cellar door. So they're pretty good prices.
Okay. So this is the 2018 Pinot Noir. 93 points in at Winefront by Mike Benny, and also has a wine show medal as well. Pinot on the Granite Belt. It's a bit of a what's the word? I can't think of it's like the Holy Grail, or it's the it's folly. It's the lost cause kind of thing. And I love a lost cause. So whenever we can purchase some Pinot, I love to have a crack making a good Pinot, and I think this is probably the best one that I've tried from the Granite Belt. It's got that lovely, juicy, round, soft palate, but it's still got that underlying structure in there, so it's great with food. But it's just so, it's got raspberries and earth and, sour cherry, and it's just so delicious on the palate. That's so damn good. I'll just blow my own trumpet. But it's one of those wines that when you taste it, the flavour keeps coming back at you, and it just makes you want to taste it again and again. It really is beautiful. There you go, mate.
Thank you. We're really 1.5 meters apart, by the way.
Yeah, there's a clear barrier. Anyway, we have alcohol with us, so we're okay. Okay, so we'll have a look at some of the Hoven, and while I go and do that, Martin might tell you a bit about the vintage that we've had so far. We won't get too negative about it, but it's been a challenging one.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. You'll all have remembered our fires. We had fires back in January last year in Kirraween National Park. Bit of smoke taint down at Ballandine. We then had fires in September, and they were surrounding rose birds. We've picked about 10% of what we would normally pick. For this year, we're going to make 2 wines and 2 wines only. They'll go out under the label of Slim Pickings. There'll be a Slim Pickings Red, which is will be a blend of Tempranillo, Shiraz and Merlot. And we'll be making a Slim Pickings Rosé, which a bit of Cabernet, Malbec, bit of Grenache. So, we'll be lucky to get probably 300, 400 bottles of each. But it's been a tough year. But you're on the land, there's only one person who looks after the land and the weather, and she can be a real bitch. So,
okay, so young Mr. Stuart Robinson has asked me a couple of questions. I've used some fancy words that he doesn't know the meaning of. Wink, wink, Stuart. So he's asked a question about lees and batonnage. So lees is basically the dead yeast. After fermentation, the dead yeast falls down to the bottom of the barrel or the tank, and that's known in winemaking as the lees. And so the lees contains a lot of really good stuff in those lees, and it's really great with Chardonnay to add texture and richness to the palate. And we do that by employing batonnage. So batonnage is the French term for stirring. And so we have a stainless steel tool that goes in through the bunghole, and we kind of do this like we're driving a car or riding a bike, and it stirs up the lees, the dead yeast, through the wine, makes the wine cloudy, and that does 2 things. It helps to add texture and richness or a fullness to the mid palate, but it also helps to protect the wine from oxidization during this barrel maturation period. I hope that explains it well, Stuart. Andrew, what food does the wine go best with? Which food does the wine go best with? Wine goes great with all foods, Andrew. I really believe that's the main purpose of wine, or the main purpose of food is to go with wine. Chardonnay. My favourite thing to have Chardonnay with is slow roasted pork belly. The Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir and crispy skinned duck. There's nothing better on the planet. And the wine we're going to try next, the Hoven, where we're going to have a look at that. But it goes really well with, probably sort of richer flavoured, deep, rich red pastas and things like that. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Hoven. This is our Hoven, our Malbec Mourvedre 2019. That's a current vintage red. It's made in a juicy, fresh, vibrant red wine style. So Joven is a Spanish term for young or youthful, and that's exactly what this is. It's a current vintage red. It's really deep and vibrant colours. It has really fresh, fruity aromas. It spent all its time in stainless steel, no time in oak. It's just the fruit is the hero in this wine. It's plush on the palate, but it has enough tannin and structure there to make it great to go with barbecue or rich red pasta. But it's soft enough just to drink, a little bit chilled and relaxing in front of the telly or waiting for the barbecue to cook.
It's got a huge, huge nose, and Dawn, our assistant winemaker, says whenever she opens a bottle, they're just powerful, powerful bouquet, and it's a tribute to Pete. He, when we were pressing off these grapes last vintage, he said, "Oh, this is so damn good. I don't want to put it in barrel. I want to release it young," and it was absolutely a perfect solution. I think Mike Binney wrote it up and talked about being gluggable, and I can't put the bottle down.
And sloshy.
Yeah, that's
sloshy.
It. So slosh away.
Yeah, a bit sloshy. A bit like my loose and juicy for the Pinot. I think those Joven style reds are really on trend at the moment. A lot of people are chasing them because they're just so versatile, and the fruit is the adjuncts aren't the main part of the wine. It's the fruit from the vine that is the hero, is the king. So Stuart says his wife's never heard of Mourvedre. That's surprising me coming from Stuart's house. Mourvedre or Mataro, man, or in Spain it's called Monastrell. So the vine is very vigorous, upright habit, has large bunches, really thick skin. But I guess it's probably better known in blends like GSMs and some Spanish blends as well, and Chateau Neuf de Pupin style reds also. So it's very versatile. Not probably more seen on its own in Australia than anywhere else in the world, I would say. But it's really, really delicious wine, and it can add some real structure to a red that it goes with.
Something fruity and exciting. You can't go past it. Yeah. It's one of our faves at the moment. And whenever I ask Michelle what she'd like in a red, it used to be Saperavi. Now it's the Joven. So it's certainly hitting the mark.
No, and again, it's such type of wine that once you've swallowed the wine, the flavour comes back in waves. You're always kind of swallowing, and it's salivating in the mouth. It's really delicious. Well, that was our last wine, guys. I'd like to thank City Winery for this inaugural virtual wine tasting and pack that they sent out, and particularly no doubt the gorgeous food that snacks that they've included. So I hope you've enjoyed it. There's some small videos of me presenting the wines and doing a tasting, one for each wine. So if you need to, you can have a look back at that. And don't forget about our special offer there as well. Sorry, I'm just reading the. Why does stainless steel and not in the oak matter? So the oak barrel imparts certain characters on the wine, and if it's a new barrel, it can dominate the wine. And so if the winemaker doesn't keep an eye on the wine, or some wines like Tempranillo, and there's a few others that really soak up oak very quickly, and so they take on that oak character very much, and that's the dominant thing. The first thing you taste is oak, and then the last thing you taste is oak, and so it's all about the oak. It's not about the beautiful fruit in the wine, and so that's why stainless steel in this style matters. That's the important part of it. Why? Yeah, okay. I think that answered that one. So Laura Taylor, do you guys whole bunch stuff, or do you think it's a bit of a hipster trend? We do whole bunch stuff, and depending on the variety, it can be from 10 to 20%. We have a bunch, and it turned out great. But for Ridgemill Estate, we do about the 20% for Shiraz, about 10% in Tempranillo and stuff like that. And it really does a really, really important stuff to wine. It gives it spice. It gives it texture. And I always say that when you taste a wine that's had whole bunch, it's like it's embracing. It's like a warm cuddle. It just gives this really lovely texture in the mouth. And so I think it does a really important thing. But there's some very key factors that have to be exactly right so that you get the benefits, but you don't get the greenness, the green characters, which if for me is not good whole bunch. Thank you. Thanks, Lee. You've done an amazing job on the Pinot Noir. It's amazing. Thank you very much. We love it. I reckon it's awesome. Thank you.
I told Pete before that vintage, I don't think any more Pinot Noir. After that vintage, I said, definitely, whenever we can do it, we'll do it. It's a cracker.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone who joined in. Thanks for all the questions. It's been great. I think it's been an eye opener for Martin and myself in terms of the platform and those kind of things. We're about 13 minutes over. Hi, Adam. But I think it's been worthwhile. I think it's been awesome. Thanks so much to City Winery. They're legends. Obviously, all you guys know of them and visit them regularly. Appreciate their assistance in getting us into this. And I think that's about it. We're about 14 minutes over budget now. So
thanks, Adam. And guys, we'd love to greet you when we can all travel again and show you our full tasting list. So just remind us when you come and visit that you saw us here this night. It's our first. And as I say, thanks very much, Adam and City Winery.
Yep. We've got great accommodation. So if you come into the Granite Belt, book in with us. You'll have a great time. Okay, guys. Thanks so much.
See you guys.
Love yous all to bits. See ya.